Hi there, I'm Frank Korb. Welcome to my studio. Behind me, we've got a good series of works that I've been dealing with that I took from a sketchbook project with the Milwaukee Artist Resource Network. So for a small fee, I got a sketchbook, and the idea is to fill it up with sketches and then submit it back to the Milwaukee Artist Resource Network, or MARN. And from this, I created, I think there were, 24 maybe, finished pieces, each one on its own space. And then from these, I was really intrigued by what was happening, so I decided to enlarge them up to some full-size artworks. I guess that's what a sketchbook is for. So these are the 4. These are the 5 compositions that I've come up with out of the book so far. Beginning with the this one here in the middle, I believe. And so working through these pieces with the idea of not only the imagery that's created, but also what it was to have that, in some cases, piece of paper sitting next to it. So I'll take a little bit of time and walk through each one individually. This one here is the most current piece that I'm working on, and it happened to be one where I accidentally skipped over a double-page spread and had to come back to it as I was building these pages up. Now, all of my artwork is built up of Bible pages that have been attached to the paper. I'll find a better picture as we go along, and then built up on top. So as I built up my sketchbook, that was still part of it. So the building of the sketchbook was the very first thing I did for this entire body of work, and I hope to have about 5 or 6 more out of here, and then exhibit them all together. So let me walk through some of the individual pieces. Thanks. The sketchbooks began as daily paintings, as most of my paintings tend to be, as early in the morning. And the variations on this idea, as you're going to see, is the progress of these 5 works. You can go to the links that are going to be below to see the pieces in a more detailed series of progress. But this is what we've got, going from the initial building up of collages onto the finished work throughout the many, many stages, getting into the use of line and then building up on top of that. One of the attributes to working in a sketchbook over a long period of time without really having larger works up on the wall was that it gave me an opportunity to really experiment and explore mark making, textures, even variations on how I'm using those common images from my larger body of work to the finished pieces. Breaking up the spaces with tape was also a big idea in the sketchbook, and then building up onto the larger pieces of paper really brought into play that idea of what is the negative space. So the spaces in the middle or at the top or wherever one would see that creamy colored textured surface represents the actual paper of the sketchbook, but more importantly, became a really strong resting place or a place of different marks in the finished works. The ideas of working with common colors or contrasting colors. In this case, we've got an analogous color, but also working with that sense of underpainting and how the orange or whatever my other underpaintings had been can activate the top surface. Getting in there with a really rough sgraffito was very helpful, and then polishing it off with many coats over the top really created a sense of unity and finishedness. And at the time of this recording, this is a current piece or current pair of pieces that are being worked on. This is the 5-6 pieces as a whole, and at the state these are in, this is one without the empty space, and then this is the one with that empty, that missing page on the left. Thanks for joining me and letting me share some of my artworks and ideas behind them with you. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know in the comments below or reach out to me, fjkorb@gmail.com. Take care. Bye-bye.